As we welcome in the most famous man from Oliver, British Columbia, the former Hockey Night in Canada executive producer, our buddy John Shannon. How are you?
I'm great, boys. I'm riding that Canuck roller coaster. Oh my gosh, what a roller coaster!
I mean, 15 shots, 5 goals, and lose the game going away.
Yeah, but I tell you what, though, I thought it was deja vu all over again when they made it 5-5 compared to what they were with what they did in Tampa the night before. So they are they're like at a scene out of Gladiator. How are you not entertained?
Yeah,
but all you have to do, John, is shoot 35%, and they got a chance. Simple.
If it was, I just don't know how you can win games with 15 shots on goal. So I just don't think you can. But there are so many things that you could look at and say, wow, like Jake DeBrusk has become a power play guy. Nice to see Pettersson score a couple of goals. If only a few guys were a little healthier, then I think life would be okay. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, if only they could keep the puck out of their net, John. And of course, last night they're starting your 8 pitch. I mean, beyond last night, right? Like it's been an issue for them all season, and this is a team that for the last couple of years has been able to rely on its stalwart defensive work, and that just isn't there.
Do you have an opinion on David Kampf? He was on the ice for almost all the goals against last night, and he was brought in as a quote-unquote defensive specialist. Do you have any opinion on him watching him as a Leaf?
David Kampf is a fourth-line center. Nothing more than a fourth-line center. He is not a major difference maker. At a certain point, if and when the Canucks get healthy, and you look at the centers, and I put Hedl in this, I put Bluger in this. If everybody's healthy, I'm not sure if David Kampf plays. So that I think that I truly believe it. I put it in perspective. I've been pretty hard on David Kampf as a Canuck because he's a warm body, but he's not going to be a difference maker, guys. He's not, and I understand why they signed him. I understand why they signed him because of health reasons and some defensive prowess that he has, but he hasn't played in a while. It's going to take him to a little while to get back up to game shape. You throw him in against the Stanley Cup champions. That's a tough spot to put him in, but they had no choice.
Yeah. No, you're right. In one game, I don't think anybody should draw any horrible conclusions, but he needs to realize too that no one is expecting him to score. You have one job. Do not get scored upon. And that didn't go too well in game number one.
I think that was his issue in Toronto. I think he expected to score in Toronto himself. I think he feels that he can contribute offensively.
Yeah.
Which is why, in the end, he didn't really fit into Craig Berube's system.
The Canucks are 30th in the league, allowing 3.67 goals per game. They're 32nd, dead last in the league on the penalty kill at 67.1%. John, what do you think this is doing to a proud, defensively oriented guy like Adam Foote, that in his first year as an NHL head coach, he's sitting here watching his club perform so poorly on the defensive side?
His hair's going to get more like mine than it is what it is right now. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And I'd like to say that with a new coaching staff, it's going to take time. But, I actually was out walking the dog this morning thinking about what we were going to talk about. And when you think about 8 goals against and you think about what they're going through, who Adam Foote is missing as an assistant coach is Adam Foote. Because he did a pretty good job in his role with Rick Tockett's staff on that defensive side, and the players talk nothing but glowingly about what he did for them. So from that perspective, I'd like to think it takes time, but these trips that the Canucks are on, and like every team seems to be on right now, they're hellish. When you think about you go 3 time zones to play 3 games in 4 days and then come home, so it's not easy. You can't practice. Everybody's complaining about practice time. We hear it from 32 coaches. And it certainly cannot be beneficial to a new coach and a new staff that they can't practice very much.
Nobody wants to get rid of the Olympic participation, but this condensed schedule is a lot more condensed than last year's condensed schedule, which was to take the 2 weeks off for 4 nations. You see what Montreal and Vancouver are going through. Are you hearing any complaints about how to do this better next time so that the injuries don't pile up? Because I don't know, it feels like a crazy year of injuries too.
Well, we are adding a couple of weeks to the schedule next year, Blake. A couple of weeks. We're going to start in September. So that might relieve a little bit of it. But somewhere in the back of my mind, this is someone in New York saying, you want to go to the Olympics? Fine. But we're not compromising what the NHL schedule is all about. We're not compromising anything. We're not changing it. We're not shortening it. If you want to go to the Olympics, you're going to play the schedule that we create. And that's exactly what's happening. And listen, every team in every market, if you tune into local radio or online stuff in every market, same conversation everywhere. Schedules and injury everywhere. That is a fact of life. And you have to think at some point, I know it was a small topic of discussion at the managers meeting, but you have to think at some point the managers are going to try to weigh in and see if they can help relieve a bit of this pressure.
I do want to get to Olympics, or at least Olympic roster composition in a moment, but I had a follow-up on the defensive side. Adam Foote.
I can't play defense, okay?
He's unavailable? Okay. We'll put
no. I'm a little slow.
Stay at home is good.
The one thing the three of us can do is occupy space, though. Foote switched from a more zonal defensive approach that Tocchet had to a more man-on-man, and it requires the players to make reads. And wow, some of these reads. Do you see a point in time where Adam looks at it and goes, okay, they're just not getting it. Now it's time to park the bus, have everybody play high, and try and prevent as many goals as we can simply by not taking chances offensively?
So reminiscent of what we saw a couple of years ago in Edmonton. Jay Woodcroft tried to make the change too, tried to make the swap too, and went 25 games and then said, we can't do it. We've got to go back. So the answer is you can always go back. Yes. The question becomes, can you afford to be patient with it? The fascination is that I think that when you look at the standings and look how compressed everybody is points wise, maybe you can be patient. Maybe, but at a certain point you're going to have to draw the line and say, okay, listen, this isn't working. And at what point, I don't know when that is. Honestly, I don't know when that is, Matt. But when they play games like they did in Carolina, which I thought, again, not enough shots on goal, and yet got a point. When you play like you did in Tampa, you kind of want to stay the course a little bit. And when you come back to a 5-5 score in Sunrise, you say, wow, maybe something's working here. But to me, I'm almost more concerned about the amount of scoring opportunities they're not getting, as opposed to how many goals they are allowing. If Demko comes back, Lankinen, I have a lot more confidence in their goaltending with those two guys, and I have to believe that the defense will turn it around. But then, they need to get to 25 and 30 shots a game to create some scoring opportunities.
The heat maps in front of the Vancouver goal are crazy right now, though.
Crazy, I know.
They're allowing those teams to get right in front of the goalie, and those will turn into goals, I think.
Well, and then you do wonder about Quinn Hughes, not the biggest guy. I don't expect him to do it, but Philip Hronek and Tyler Myers and these guys, I expect them to be moving guys out, I expect them to be much more physical. I expect them to be more like Adam Foote when he played.
That's why it looked good on paper. That's why it looked good on paper, John. Is that it's easy to play that movie in your head, but it's not playing out on the ice.
Yeah. Again, I think a lot of it goes back to this brutal schedule, but at the same time, there has to be some acknowledgement that perhaps, to Matt's point, maybe this system just isn't working. Maybe it's not working. And, at a certain point, you have to make the change.
Yeah, well, because at a certain point, you're looking at the standings and you're going, okay, we can't afford to bleed too many more points. I mean,
right now, it's treading water is actually okay. It's not great. But it's okay. Things are still in reach.
Yes.
You win 3 games. You win 3 games in a row, and
you're division leaders.
Right. It's crazy.
It is.
You know what's crazy, guys? Winning 3 games in a row. That is also crazy for this team.
Come on.
They haven't done it.
Yeah, well, there's always a first time.
Not only have they not done it, there is.
They did it once early this season on the road. Right?
I was going to say, how many teams are on a 3-game heater right now? The answer is 2. Two.
That's crazy.
Colorado and Dallas.
That is crazy.
Who have won 6 and 5 respectively, straight. Tomorrow puts us 6 weeks away, John, from the submission of Hockey Canada's roster for the 2026 Milano Cortina Olympics. I want to talk to you a little bit about the composition of this, because one of the storylines in this early NHL year is the young Canadian forwards who are coming, and perhaps some of the guys who felt that they were spurned and left off the Four Nations roster last season. We'll start with the 2 Vancouver kids, Macklin Celebrini and Connor Bedard. What do you think of their chances of making the Canadian team?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think it's a really popular discussion. I think it's a really popular vote right now. But what Doug Armstrong's group of guys has to think about is what really has to happen for these guys to contribute. How physical can they be? Because this is going to be a physical tournament. Make no mistake about it. It's not going to be Four Nations physical, but the ice rink is small. It's smaller than NHL ice, and it's going to be bumper cars all over the place. And so how do Celebrini and Bedard manage that? Now they've had exceptional seasons. I make no bones about it. You can't do anything but commend what they've done this year. But I do wonder if there are players that, I'm a big advocate for Wyatt Johnston in Dallas. I think Wyatt Johnston, who we had actually talked a lot about prior to Four Nations, but he had such a brutal start to the season last year. He hasn't had a brutal start now. He's playing really well. And to me, he's one of those, again, he's 23. He's not much older than the 2 guys we're talking about. Mm-hmm. He just plays in a market that we don't talk very much about. And Wyatt Johnston's one of those guys that probably deserves a crack at this team as well. And then on the other side, people say, well, what about John Tavares? John Tavares on a mediocre Maple Leaf team. John Tavares had a hell of a season, and has been through this before. And so that's another guy that goes on a list.
Well, it might actually be easier to do this in terms of looking at the Four Nations roster and asking ourselves who doesn't come back from that team. Now, 13 forwards on that team. We're getting 14 forwards on this team. We, of course, have already had 7 players named to this roster, including 5 forwards: West Vancouver, Sam Reinhart, Braden Point, Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid. As I look at the Four Nations roster, John, well, first of all, Seth Jarvis and the eye injury he suffered against the Canucks, like that is obviously.
But he's played since, right?
Oh, has he? Oh, okay.
Oh, sure.
He didn't
miss a shift. He didn't miss a shift against Edmonton the next night.
Oh, wow.
By the way, Braden Point is 6th on the Lightning in scoring, and he's a team worst -12, and he's already on the team. Can we adjust that?
Well, I got to say, I fell in love with those Tampa forwards at the Four Nations point, but mostly Cirelli and Hagel and the job that they did, not to mention Sam Bennett on the other side. Travis Konechny of Philadelphia, do you see him back in a Canadian sweater?
No.
Mark Stone in Vegas, you see him back in a Canadian sweater?
I do.
You do?
I do. I really do. I think that you cannot... I mean, he's a glue guy. He's a compete guy. I think that, this is going to be hand-to-hand combat a lot of nights, and I think Mark Stone, if he's healthy, I think Mark Stone fits into this team. I really
better than
I think he's perfect for the small ice surface. So.
Mm-hmm. I have not paid attention to what he's done this year. He's better than 2 points per game this season. He's only played 6 games, but he's got 13 points in 6 games.
I mean,
again, it goes to health, though. I mean, it really goes to if he's healthy and can remember at this point prior to Four Nations, we were all having a debate about Drew Doughty, and Drew Doughty ended up, being healthy enough to play, and not only that, but contributing really well.
Another old guy who's playing well, we just saw him, is Brad Marchand.
Yeah, he is playing well.
Well, he's on my team for sure.
Really?
Gosh.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Cirelli and Hagel, the other bolts.
Well, and so that becomes the question that I think that Doug takes to John Cooper and said, listen, and they were on there because Cooper trusted them to kill penalties.
Yeah.
Cooper trusted them in certain situations. The story about Cirelli right now is that his face-off numbers are not very good, and if he's going to kill penalties, and you better win the face-off. So that's something that always people seem to bring up. It goes to the ability for John Cooper, even with his eyes closed, to be able to say, Hagel, you're up, Cirelli, you're up, and the penalties get killed. And that's, I'm not sure how you can remove that from the equation if John Cooper really believes that those are two guys. Brendan Hagel's had a hell of a season already. Mm-hmm. He's really taken off, particularly the last 3 weeks. And you do wonder if they're almost a package deal.
Yeah.
If you take one, you take the other. If you don't take one, then you don't take either guy.
Are you thumbs up on Sam Bennett?
Good question. I am, but but the moment I say yes to that, I just don't want to have the team in Torino, Matt, where we were older and slower.
Yes.
I don't want that. So, I think Sam Bennett could be on the bubble. I think when you look at what. But again, I mean, he won the Conn Smythe Trophy. The debates. I'd love to be a fly on the wall with these debates because I don't think there's a wrong answer. But at the same time, you want a team that is physical and fast. And does Sam Bennett fit the fast enough part?
Torino was big ice, it should be noted, and this is not. So,
right.
I don't think you get caught as easily there. But the age thing is still there. How about Tom Wilson?
Well, I think Tom Wilson, Mark Scheifele's kind of flattened a little bit in the last couple of weeks. So Tom Wilson, Scheifele, Nick Suzuki. I mean, again, so the Canadians have kind of leveled off as well, so that means Nick has leveled off. I would take Tom Wilson. The question becomes: can you trust him to stay between the lines? And the answer is, at this point in his career, you have that discussion and you believe in him.
Yeah. Okay, so Would you rather have Tom Wilson with his in the art of intimidation? Even if he doesn't do anything, he's scary. Or somebody like Connor Bedard or Celebrini, who's scary in a different way, but can be pushed off the puck. I was just going to say, I think Tom Wilson's intimidation may only help you against one opponent, the USA.
Yes.
I think the rest of them as a group are intimidating enough for the different reason that you just said.
Well, it's also the difference between World Cup and the Olympics, right? In the World Cup, where it's NHL officials, I sure, absolutely, bring Tom Wilson. With the IHF officials, I mean, I've been to all these tournaments. I know how they are something else.
There are NHL officials going to be there too.
That's right. They've gone to NHL officials for the Olympics because the players complain so much.
The problem becomes is the supplemental discipline.
Yes,
is IHF. It's not NHL. So that becomes the double whammy. That's the challenge. I do not envy these guys because they pick a team and win. They made the right choice. They pick a team and lose, they're brutal. This is a polarizing situation for Doug Armstrong and his group. Polarizing.
I am actually looking at a list here that there are a number of non-NHL officials working the tournament.
Yeah, no, there'll be a combination. There'll be a combination of guys.
Boy, and God bless them. But I mean, we have some referees certified by Hockey Saskatchewan and Hockey Nova Scotia. They're going to officiate NHL players at the Milano Olympics.
That's the top end of them?
I mean, I don't know if these referees are going to get sort of the big on big, best on best games, but
I suspect not.
That would be a step up in class,
yes,
to say the least. Okay, so we'll scratch Konechny for you. We'll put Wyatt Johnston on, and we'll give you Tom Wilson as your 14th forward. Does Matthew Schaefer, the kid on the island, make the club?
No.
Look at our defense, though, John. Like you're talking about having a fast team. Oof.
I saw Justin Bourne suggest Evan Bouchard today.
No, never. Not with his.
So scary.
No,
my dad taught me a long time ago. My dad taught me a long time ago. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything else.
Yeah, McCarr, Taves, Morrissey, Theodore. Yeah. I think if we're all healthy, then you got to make your call on the older guys with the Miles, Parayko, or Doughty, and then Sanheim.
Well, Doughty's going to make the team. Doughty's making the team
as a mascot, if nothing else.
All right. So then you're down to your Parayko, Sanheimer. You're going to continue keeping them, and then what about the guy who bailed you out, the Canadian from upstate Thomas
New
Harley.
York, Thomas Harley?
Yeah,
I think he's going.
Yeah, I think Harley should go as well. In fact, I would take Harley over a number of these names. And then there's the goaltending debate, John, which we will have on another show. We need more information and more data.
We need 3 hours for the goaltending.
Please, we need more information. I looked at the worst goalies in the NHL the other day, and Jordan Binnington and Sam Montembeault were face-to-face at the top of the page.
For the worst
goaltenders.
Yeah, we need more goalies, not more info.
There's that, too.
Well, you know who I'm blaming for this? For our goaltending drought. I'm blaming Connor McDavid.
Everybody wants to be Connor. Yeah, that's right.
Everybody wants to be Connor McDavid. When we were kids, well, I was a little older than you guys, but they all wanted to be Patrick Waugh. Mm-hmm. They all wanted to be Marty Brodeur. Now they want to be Connor McDavid.
Well, honestly, John, I'm this is a rabbit hole we're not going to go down today, but. Honestly, the kids' mental health these days is also tough to become a goalie. The responsibility of being a goalie, I'm still in minor hockey, not playing. And I see it. Like the kids melt in goal. Yeah. It's a tough mental burden, and I don't think many kids want to sign up for it.
I can understand that. My son was a goalie. And but he thrived on it. Yeah. And it has to take a certain psyche to be a goaltender.
Right. It does.
Great stuff, John. Thanks for this. Catch up soon.
Cheers, boys. And we might be in Abbotsford playing, getting ready for the regular season next year. So the three of us on defense, of course,
occupying space,
yes,
if nothing else.